Happy fall, sweet friends. Welcome back to another video. My name is Tawanda and this is Tawanda's Blessed Life, and today I have 5 of my favorite pumpkin DIYs. We're going to go ahead and jump into today's video. I hope y'all enjoy. I hope you have a blessed day, and I will see you all on Sunday. Goodbye. For this DIY, I have this pumpkin. It came in my Michael's grab box that I purchased last year, I believe in like the end of October, the beginning of November. And so I actually just opened the grab box this week. And so this is one of the pumpkins that was in the grab box. So I'm going to start off by adding some of the midnight blue paint, and I'm going to mix it with some of the Dollar Tree black chalk paint. I'm leaning more into the darker navy blue for some of my decor, but the accent color in my home is navy blue. I just want to have a couple more navy blue pumpkins. I also have a doily from, I want to say, Dollar General. I believe they're from Dollar General. I believe they were 2 for $1 when I purchased those. I've had them for a couple of years now. So I am going to go ahead and start to give my pumpkin a coat of the paint mixture that I created. I'm actually going to end up giving it 3 coats of paint. And then once it's completely dry, this is what it looks like. I absolutely love it. It matches, it actually matches my vase that I have next to my fireplace. And that's where I plan on putting it. And so then I took the doily, folded it in half, and then just cut a little slit in it just so that it could lay just over the peduncle. And then I'm going to use some of the fabric Mod Podge to attach the doily to my pumpkin. And this is what it looks like after the doily is placed onto the pumpkin. I absolutely love it. And then what I actually ended up doing was I took just a small piece of the lace ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I wrapped it around the top of the peduncle just to cover up where I cut the doily, just to cover the phrase up. And just to make it look a little bit more nicer and neater and cleaner. And that is going to be it for this DIY. I absolutely love the way that it turned out, so you'll have to let me know what you think. I actually also did cut the doily a little bit just to lay it flat, so because it was a little bit larger than my pumpkin. But yeah, let me know what you think about this DIY. For this DIY, I have some blue push pans from Dollar Tree. I have another pumpkin that came in my grab box from Michael's. I have the night sky chalk paint. I have some Mod Podge, and then I have some scrap fabric. The fabric is actually from a bed skirt that I picked up at the thrift store for $5. I can't remember how long ago. I think it was like last year sometime. And I decided I was going to use some of it to create this DIY because I really wanted to use fabric on all of my DIYs for today for all of my pumpkins. And I kind of just want to use it in different ways. And so I'm going to start off by giving the pumpkin, I gave it 2 coats of the night sky paint. I absolutely love this color. It's so pretty. And then here I had just cut out a small square of that fabric, and I believe it's the one with the lamb on it, if I'm not mistaken. And then I'm going to just like fray the edges of the fabric. And then I'm going to take my fabric Mod Podge, and I'm just going to give the back of the fabric a coat of the fabric Mod Podge. And I'm going to place it onto my pumpkin. And then after that, I am going to use those push pins, and I'm going to place a push pin in each corner of my fabric. I also painted the push pins with the same night sky paint. And then after it dried and I was looking at it, I just kind of felt like it needed something else. So then I ended up using some of the Dollar Tree lace ribbon and just adding a little bow to it. And that is going to be it for this DIY. I absolutely love the way that this turned out. I actually also made a pumpkin pillow to decorate with alongside of this pumpkin. I think it is so stinking cute. So you'll have to let me know what you think. I also went back here. I am adding some of the vintage distress oxide in between the little creases of the pumpkin, and that is going to be it for this DIY. I absolutely love the way that it turned out, so you'll have to let me know what you think about this DIY. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Tawanda, and this is Tawanda's Blessed Life. And on my channel, I do decorating on a budget, DIYs, and hauls with a sprinkle of migraine enlightenment. I also do sister walk updates and lifestyle updates. So if that is something that you're interested in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to join my YouTube family. I would greatly appreciate it. We are moving on to our last and final DIY for today. I have another pumpkin out of my grab box from Michaels, this pink one. I have some Mod Podge, fabric Mod Podge. I will be using the cottage white paint piece of fabric. I have a pick there, and then I also have my little container with all of my little scarecrows in it. Those all came from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to start off by just cutting out a square inside of my pumpkin. So I'm going to get that square cut out, and then I am going to paint the pumpkin and also the piece of the section of the pumpkin that I cut. I'm going to go ahead and give that a coat of paint, and I'm going to give a pumpkin 2 coats of paint. And then when it's completely dry, I am going to go ahead and start to assemble my pumpkin. So here I am going ahead, and I went ahead and painted everything. So the first thing we're going to do is take my fabric. I believe that fabric came from Hobby Lobby like 3 years ago. So I decorate the outside of my home and my kitchen and my dining room with scarecrows for fall. So this will be something that I will be decorating or using in my kitchen or in my dining room. So I'm going to give the fabric a coat of the fabric Mod Podge, and I'm going to attach it to that section of the pumpkin that I cut. And then once it's completely dry, or not completely dry, but halfway dry, and I'm going to go ahead and just use the blow dryer just to kind of speed it up some, because my goal was to have all of my fall and Halloween DIYs completed by the end of the week, which I did, thank God, so that I could kind of focus on some projects that we're doing around our home. But I still want to be able to get content out. So all of my DIYs are done for like the next month and a half. So I'm so happy about that. But this is what it looks like after it's complete halfway dry. I used a blow dryer to kind of speed it up some, like I was saying. And then I am going to use some hot glue and glue that piece to the back of the pumpkin. And I love the way that it looks. It looks like a little TV. But anyway, so I am going to go ahead and start to add or embellish the inside of my pumpkin. I'm going to use this little welcome flower or sunflower, and I'm going to add 2 of my little scarecrows. I'm also going to add this little squirrel, and I believe I added a little red truck. I'm going to say everything came from Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago. And then once that's complete, I'm also going to take the vintage distress oxide and also just add it to the creases of my pumpkin. And I also have a little scarecrow hat that I'm going to add to the top of the pumpkin. And that is going to be it for this DIY. I absolutely love the way that all of these turned out. I don't have a favorite. They're all my favorite. I also hot glued half beads to the scarecrows to give them some height. Um, and then once that was done, I went back and I added some moss, and then I put a little tea light in there. But my intention is to add some fairy lights. I have a box of fairy lights somewhere in my craft room. I haven't found them yet, but once I find them, I'm going to go ahead and add those to my pumpkin. And that is going to be it for today's video. And we're moving right along. I have another pumpkin pail. I have a bird from Dollar General. I have a sunflower. I'm going to be using the country gray paint, and then I'm also going to be using some of the Patina effects paste and bronze. And then I have this little like bacon pan that came from the Repurpose Project. I've had it for a couple of years. So I'm going to start off by taking the pumpkin pail, and I'm going to start to use my Patina paste effects, all over my pumpkin. And then I also went ahead and cut the handle off of the pumpkin also. And then once I have that done, I went ahead and I painted my bird with the apple barrel country gray paint. And so I showed you that earlier here. And so I'm going to go ahead and just continue to go ahead and paint my whole pumpkin with the Patina Effects paste and the color brass. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for continuing to support my channel. I really do appreciate it. My name is Tawanda, and this is Tawanda's Blessed Life. And on my channel, I do decorating on a budget, DIYs, and hauls with a sprinkle of migraine enlightenment. I also do sister lock updates and lifestyle updates. So if that is something that you are interested in, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to join my YouTube family. I would greatly appreciate it. So once I have it completely painted, I'm going to go ahead and set it aside to let it dry. And I'm going to start to work on my hat for my pumpkin. And so what I'm going to do is take my bird, and I'm going to go ahead and also add some of the Patina effects to the bird, and I'm going to also add a little bit of it to the bacon pan. And then once I have that complete, then I'm going to glue the bird on top of the bacon pan. So you'll see me here doing that here shortly. And I absolutely love the way that this turned out. I also ended up putting some lights on the inside of the pumpkin. You're actually not going to see that in the video, but in the reveal you will see the pumpkin with the lights in it, and it looks so good. And I'm actually thinking about not even putting this outside and keeping it inside of my home and putting it maybe at my entryway when you walk inside. I'm not sure yet, but I really love the way this turned out. And I actually have another one of those pumpkins. I just cannot figure out what I did with it. So here I am just adding that patina paint to the pan. I went ahead and set my bird and my pan aside, and then I started to work on my sunflower. So here I am. I went ahead and cut the back piece of it off so that it would lay flat on my pan. And I'm going to go ahead and just hot glue all of the pieces back together. And then once I had that done, I'm going to go ahead and take my sunflower and hot glue it. And I also use some E6000 only because it's metal. And I just wanted to make sure that the sunflower stayed on top of the metal pan. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. I absolutely love it. Then I hot glued my bird using some E6000 and hot glue to the top of my sunflower. And that is going to be it for this DIY. And sweet friends, we're moving on to our last and final DIY for today. I absolutely loved the way this DIY turned out. So I'm going to be using some distressed oxide. I have some faux leather. I have some fabric. I have this bottle, and I also have that little squeeze ball, stress ball. I'm sure a lot of us have received those in some type of package from a doctor's office. And then I'm going to be using some fabric Mod Podge, and I'm also going to be using the orange paint and the real brown paint. And I believe, I will be using some like floral metal. I think that's what it's called. I believe that's everything that I'll be using for this DIY. So I'm going to start off by using some of my scrap fabric. I am going to attach that to my bottle using some fabric Mod Podge. So you can see me here doing that. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add that same fabric to my little stress ball. And so I am just trying to make sure that I get this bottle completely covered with the Mod Podge and with the fabric. And then once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and take my stress ball. And I also went ahead and hollowed out the inside of the stress ball so that I can place it on top of the bottle. So here I'm going to add some of the fabric Mod Podge, and I'm going to add the fabric to the top of the stress ball, and this is going to be my head. And I'm just going to place the excess fabric. I'm just going to start to push that inside of the hole that I created inside of the stress ball. And then I'm going to take the lid from the bottle and place that inside, and then I'm going to go ahead and screw it back on top. So then I'm going to do a mixture of the and this is the next day. So then I'm going to do a mixture of the pumpkin paint with the real brown paint, and I'm going to add some water to thin it out to try and make a stain. And then so this is the color that I wanted, and then I'm going to go ahead and just paint over the bottle and the stress ball. Actually, I'm just going to call it my pumpkin. So I'm going to give it a coat of the stain that I created. Once I have that done, I'm going to go ahead and place my head back on top of my pumpkin, and I'm going to let it dry. I let it dry for about 2 or 3 hours before I came back and messed with it. And so this is what it is currently looking like. And then I took some galvanized wire, and I'm going to go ahead and start to create my arms. And I forgot to say that this is actually a dupe that I saw. So I'll go ahead and insert the picture for my inspiration for this DIY. So I'm going to use the galvanized wire to create my arms or my hands. And then once I have that done, I'm just going to like just kind of twist it all around just to kind of get what I'm looking for. And I'm just going to just keep doing it, twisting it until I am happy with my results and happy with what I feel like the arms and or the hands should look like. And then I'm going to paint it with some of the real brown paint and also some of the Waverly antique wax. So here I am using some of the Waverly antique wax to go ahead and stain my arms and my hands. And then I have my little container here that I have some little push pins. I'm also going to go ahead and add some of the gold rubbing buff to those. And these are going to be my buttons. I'm also going to take two of those and paint them with some black. I'm actually going to use my black paint marker, and those will be used for my eyes. And then I also have a piece of faux leather. I'm going to use that to create my nose. And then here I am just taking a piece of cardboard to create a gift tag label to write pumpkin on. I'm going to actually take a piece of that scrap fabric that I have, and I'm going to use some Mod Podge and attach that to the gift tag. I'm also going to be using that the wire that had like $1 on it that came from Dollar General. It was off of one of the little hanger or kitchen little signs. I used it for a different DIY, but I kept that. Thankfully I did. And then I also have a piece of potpourri that I'm going to be using as my peduncle. I had that last year and I was going to get rid of it, but I decided to keep it. So here I'm showing you the little push pins that I'm going to be using to create my eyes. So I'm going to just use the second DIY to kind of hold my bottle in place so that I can start to create my pumpkin face. So I'm going to start off by just trying to place everything where I want it. And then I am going to go ahead and start to hot glue my actually those are bells. I don't know why I thought that those were push pins. I use bells to create my little buttons, and I added the gold rubbing buff. And then I'm going to go ahead and start to place my nose, and then I'm going to add my eyes. Once those are done, then I am going to use some hot glue and some mint glue to add to attach my arms. And then I will go ahead and tie a piece of scrap ribbon, scrap fabric, and then my little gift tag that says pumpkin onto the my pumpkin around its neck. So here I'm just using some of that cement glue, and I cut a piece of the potpourri stick, and so I'm just going to use that and add some hot glue to attach it, and then that little piece of wire that came off of a little picture from Dollar General. And it is so cute. I absolutely love the way this turned out. And then I'm going to go ahead and just start to add my arms. And after I add my arms, then I'm going to take some of the vintage distress oxide, and I am going to give it some little cheeks. And that is going to be it for this DIY. I absolutely love the way that it turned out. And that is going to be it for this DIY. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. Please go ahead and click on my sweet friend Melinda's link, the link to her channel. It will be in my description box. Please go ahead and watch her Trash to Treasure video. And that is going to be it for today's video. If you like what I'm doing, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And like I always say, be nicer, be kinder. God will love you for it. And I hope you have a blessed day. And I will see you all on Sunday. Goodbye.